Hi, my name is Peter Vogl, and today we're going to learn some basic terminology that will help beginners understand more about music and what guitar teachers might be trying to tell them. Sometimes music and playing guitar can seem to have its own language, and the truth is, it does. These are all chords. It's surprising to me how many folks I have come see me that when I ask them what a chord is, they can't really tell me. A chord is when we're playing 3 or more notes played at the same time. So the important thing is we're playing them at the same time. 2 or more notes played does not make a chord. I should say 2 notes at the same time does not make a chord. 3 or more does. So the technical definition is just going to be 3 or more notes played at the same time. We know a lot of chords like G, E minor, A minor, D. So that's what a chord is. Another term we hear is scale. A scale is when we're playing a series of single notes. So in contrast to a chord where we played a bunch at the same time, a scale is simply a series of single notes. There doesn't have to be a minimum amount, really, I guess as long as we're past 1. Like, for example, that was a major scale. It's got 7 different notes in it. A pentatonic scale has 5 different notes. A chromatic scale has 12 different notes. We often hear the term arpeggio. An arpeggio is a specific way to play a chord. All an arpeggio is instead of strumming the chord, like we were doing earlier, it's playing 1 note of the chord at a time. And there's lots of different ways to do this. We can do this with finger picking. We can do it with a known chord shape that we know. We can do it with a flat pick. We can do an arpeggio played across just a couple strings. If I played all these 3 notes together, it'd be like playing a G chord. So this is a G major arpeggio. It depends on what we're using it for. If I'm using it to play rhythm of a song, I'm going to play it something like this. If I'm using it in a solo, I may very well use a shape like this. Here's an important one, dynamics. Dynamics simply refers to how loud or how soft we play. I find many of even my most experienced players that I work with forget about dynamics when they're performing. It's probably the most left out thing in an advanced player. So if we're playing chords and supporting someone, they shouldn't all be the same volume all the way through the song. There's times where it's going to be quiet, times where it's going to build, and maybe times when it's just flat out loud. The point is, dynamics needs to move. It needs to go from soft to loud or loud to soft, and it's constantly going one direction or the other. Tempo is something every guitar player needs to know a lot about. Tempo is just simply referring to the speed at which we are playing at. Tempo is time. The trick here is when I'm practicing, it would be good if I practiced playing at the same tempo all the way through if I'm playing, for example, a scale. I might practice it slow or I might practice it fast. The ability you need to have is to be able to play chords or scales and keep in the same tempo all the way through a song, rather than maybe speeding up and slowing down. That's kind of a bad thing. We want to be able to play at the same tempo. My suggestion to you is to practice with a metronome or a drum machine, which will stay at a constant tempo, and that will help you develop your sense of time. That's all we have time for today. Understanding these terms should help you understand more of what you hear and read in the music world. My name is Peter Vogl. Check out more of my free and premium guitar lessons at freeguitarvideos.com.